Right, so I had a few weeks off doing bugger all pretty much, apart from normal work in my normal job, which is, you know, gets in the way of playing in the shed. Although, on that front, I may have some people interested in buying my business, which would free me up to play in the shed all the time. But we'll wait and see what goes on with that. In the interim, what I've done is I've been experimenting with my pickling solution bath. So I did have vinegar and stuff, but I bought all the other gear that I needed to make a semi-professional one. So now it's got all the proper chemicals in it: zinc chloride, ammonium chloride, proper Caswell brightener. One thing I still can't get though is any passivates. So I keep seeing stuff on YouTube, and guys, I don't know if they like cut it and it's whether it's a bit of bullshit, because I've had no luck with that at all, where you just pull something that's all shiny. It's not happened. It always comes out a little bit dull. Now with this solution though, this zinc chloride and ammonium chloride bath, stuff comes out very, very light grey, and you just give it a little tiny wipe and it comes up shiny. Now I don't know whether if I had a passivate I'd just dip it in that and it would be like everybody else's and like, oh look at me, but it ain't happened yet. Some stuff I've done the other day, hold on. So I replated these brackets for the rear subframe, so they've come out much lighter than these brackets for these bits for the old subframe, so you can see the difference there. Both got a good coat of zinc, but one looks dull, so I'm going to replate these. I'm happy with them because they've come out lovely, but I'm going to replate some parts. Also the bolts for the front subframe, they come out a bit dull, so I'm going to redo those. I'm not going to bother cocking around too much with, you know, put them on the wire wheel and stuff. All I'm going to do is degrease them again, rinse them, give them a slight etch for. I don't want to take all the plating off that's on there, just a bit of an etch, rinse, and then into my pickle bath. And one thing I've found, which is a good little hack, if you take a picture of your parts with a tape measure next to it, like both ways, and then send them to ChatGPT, she goes, I presume it's a she goes, oh, that is da-da-da-da, and you need to put it on this many amps. Saves me doing all the calculations, so she's pretty clever. So that's what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to take a picture, say how long, and I've got two of them, and blah, blah, blah. And hopefully she'll say, you need to do it on this many amps for this long, and it will come out, you know, nice with a reasonable amount of plating on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a picture, go and see me mate ChatGPT, and then come back to here. Right, so I've just degreased these. That's my little ultrasonic cleaner, still making that noise. I'm just rinsing them off in a bit of deionised water. They're all nice and clean. And then we're just going to chuck them in the acid, as I say, for a couple of seconds, staying away from it because I don't want to breathe that shit in. And that will probably do, just to etch it. I know you're supposed to wear gloves and masks, but you know, quite far away from it to be fair. So they are now clean and etched. And what Mrs. ChatGPT did say was that the passivates make a huge difference. So I reckon everyone's telling a few little lies and doing some special cuts and stuff to make stuff look a lot better than it actually is when it comes out. Unless you're a complete professional, but yeah, passivate is what you need to make it shiny apparently. And I believe her. And she also said to me that she worked out the surface area of these bolts for me, and she said I should do it about 5 amps, 5 to 5.5 amps for 25 to 30 minutes. So just going to whack this up a little bit to 5.5, and we'll see what that does. I don't know what the time is because my phone's up there and it's got my clock on it. So I'm going to have a look at the clock over here. So 20 to 11. So 11:05, I'll probably pull them out and have a look, and hopefully they'll all be nice and light grey, and I can just give them a little buff with this really fine wire wool, and I can pretend that they came out all shiny, can't I? Or just show you properly. Oh, it's done, isn't it? Anyway, there they are in there. 5.5 amps, and I've already started to take a bit of plating. Look at that. And with my setup here, I've just got a bit of copper tube split open there, so I just set these on. I haven't got to worry about crocodile clips. All I need to do is just clean it occasionally and give them a wriggle so as they make proper contact. And I know I've already set it at 5.5 amps, and if it goes back to 5.5 amps after I've had a little play with it, I know it's got contact on it and it's doing what it's supposed to. Anyway, I'm going to leave that till 5 past, and then we'll come back, pull them out and have a look, see what it's like. Well, I've got some of the other bits I've just shown you in there degreasing. I'll just quickly show you what these are like now. Look at that. Lovely and grey. See? Which is a bloody good coating. I've turned them round as well halfway through. Because it does recommend doing that, just so as it coats evenly. But they seem to be pretty good. I've got 4 anodes in this pot. I put new ones in. These are my old ones, Timu ones, and they're a bit crap. They're very thin anyway, and they pretty much wasted away to nothing. So I got some thicker material, and I think I got it from AliExpress, and it came as a zinc plate, and I just cut it into 4 slices. But yeah, it seems to be coating really well. I mean, I've got another, how many minutes left to go? 10 more minutes, and that should be a decent coating on there. Now I just got to let them dry. As I said before, I haven't got any passivates, so I can't make them go all shiny and bullshitty just straight away out of the thing like I said online. So I have to use a little bit of fine wire wool, clean it up, but it seems to be really easy. Was on those other parts that I've done. Makes me want to do a few more bits again, but as I say, a lot of it you won't even see. I just don't want it to be rusty, but I'm just doing some of the parts that are going to be on show, like when you open the bonnet, the subframe bolts, all that, and the subframe bolts at the back. You want that all to be nice and shiny. In a little while I'll show you what I've been doing with the front hubs, drive shafts and that. I've cleaned them, painted them, new bits and bobs, new seals and stuff. I'm going to probably make all those up, and if I can get some crap out of my spray booth, because it's full of a forklift at the moment, I've got the front subframe in there, which is absolutely mint, no dents, dings, bangs. I'm just going to take some of the welding spatter off of it that's from factory, and then I can prime that and paint that satin black, and once it's hardened off I should be able to reassemble the front subframe and have it sitting on a trolley. The engine I've got to strip down, put new seals in it, just check it, but so far it looks bloody great. I've just taken the clutch side cover off and put it through the bead blaster, and it's come up lovely like new. I haven't got a flywheel puller, unfortunately. Something I've got to either make or buy or borrow if I can from somebody to get the flywheel off, because they're on a taper. Take the other casing off, get that through the bead blaster, and then just suss out how I'm going to dress this engine when I put it back on the subframe. The way I'm going to put it in is from underneath, so when I put the car down on the hoist it will go into the subframe. Hopefully not scratch anything, but so most of the parts just need a clean and a paint, because they're all new, just been sitting. So anyway, these parts are degreasing, those parts are plating. I'm having a cup of tea, come back in 10 minutes. Right, so that's been about 25 minutes now, and they look pretty good, pretty even coverage on there all the way around. So we'll give that a rinse, and then I'll dry them off. But it's nice and even, not all powdery like before. In the vinegar it was all kind of grey and horrible. I I've had these other ones in the degreaser, in the sonic cleany thingy, so we'll give them all a rinse off, and in a second we'll chuck them in the acid to etch them a little bit again. So they're all lovely and degreasified now. Some people just use a crock pot, like a slow cooker, but I bought this ultrasonic cleaner ages ago for doing other bits and bobs, and it's got a heater as well, so it does everything that a crock pot would do, and ultrasonic clean, so which is better, isn't it? So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go about 5 seconds into here and then rinse it, because I don't want to take off all of the plating that's on there, just want to etch it. Again, wearing my mask like that. I think I'm just going to do them one at a time. So there's a lot of fumes come off there, but my workshop is pretty big and it just goes up there and buggers off. I can't smell it from here. And I'm not making any splashes, and it's not going on my hands. Should have rubber gloves on and all the other stuff, glasses, and you know, I ain't. You see they're nicely etched now. They can go and sit in there for a minute. I'll do 2 at once here because there's only nuts and bolts. Bugger it, we'll chuck the last one in and all. So only about 5 seconds, nothing major. If they were old parts that had plating on that was all wanky, I'd have left them for a lot longer, but because I've already done this exercise with them once, and they did have a little bit of plating on them, it just didn't look pretty. Right, rinseified. Now one thing I didn't do was ask Mrs. ChatGPT how long, so I might just wing it on these. Turn him off for a second, get these all in place and making good contact. I'm sort of sliding them around so they don't touch each other. Right, that's sitting at 6.7 amps. Let's just make sure they're all making contact. So if Stu said 5.5 for the other bits, I reckon I should just crank that up a little bit more to about, I don't know, 7 point something, see what that goes like. 7.1. Again for 25 minutes. What's the time now? 10 past. So 10 past 11. So they should be done about 11:30. Ish. Anyway, I'll leave them, see what that comes out like. So these are their bolts that we just done. I've just got a soft cloth, and what I'm going to do, I'll just take the I'll take them off the wire in a second, but just rubbing them, they do come. Not bad at all. That's just rubbing. So I should imagine with a bit of wire wool that'll come up mint. So I'll just pull that one off of there. I'll do this in real time, so you know I'm not lying. Like I think a lot of people are. Well, unless it's just their lovely passivate stuff. But as I say, you sort of jump around on a lot of these videos and they go, oh, look at this. Oh, look how shiny it is. But there, that's straight out of the bath and dried, that is. And that is very, very fine wire wool. And just with a little rub, they do come up quite nice. Say, passivate will probably make it, you know, come up all shiny and do the magic thing that everyone else seems to do, but can't get that. Too many chemists in New Zealand making recreational medicine, I think. So it's the only reason I can think of why I can't get it. I mean, it's very toxic apparently, but you can buy acid and all the other crap. Just not that. Unless you're a proper outfit, I suppose, you know, like an industrial commercial sort of setup. Well, I am. You know, we are operating out of a business premises, so it's just not registered as a plating place. Anyway, look at that. That is pretty good. So that's in real time. No bullshit. Just what it comes out like. So that is very nice. And there's the other one. So I've not dried that one yet. Let's take him off of his bit of, get rid of me bit of wire wool. Stick that down there. Again, they feel very, very smooth and nice, but wet. So you can see it's got a lovely coating of zinc on it. No, very nice, but so it's no effort to do this actually. I could probably put these in my little polisher I made over there. I've got like an agitator, just an old drum, but it didn't work very well with the other pickling solution because it was so dull and horrible that it came out not quite so dull and horrible, but pretty much. So I thought I won't bother doing that anymore. But yeah, this wire wool is very, very fine. It's the sort of stuff you use for paint. You can polish up timber and stuff with this. So here we go. Look at that. That's much better. A real improvement on what I had. So when you open the bonnet, they look nice and shiny now. So I've got the rest of the parts in there. So another 20 odd minutes and they'll be out. So we'll come back and see what they come out like. Right, so that's been 25 minutes now. And let's turn that little bugger off. Short it out and away, and there we go, look at that. First couple of bits. Next couple of bits. Yeah, got pretty good coatings on them now. And my nuts and washers. So I'll rinse them, dry them off, and give them a little tickle up. I've had some more bits in the degreasing solution in the ultrasonic cleaner. It's basically all the nuts and bolts and washers and bits and bobs from the rear subframe. And then I've got a lot of front subframe parts in another bag, which I'll degrease as well. I thought I might get them done, but I've got to put them on wires and clean them up and give them a buff. But I was just getting all the crap off them because they were pretty grubby. But yeah, that really does get a lot of crap out of them, which is very good indeed. But they do need a buff on the old wire wheel, so yep, we'll get all them done. Even all the rubbers that look like new on the rear subframe, so they're all good still. So they'd probably go again, they were just dirty. Anyway, might give them another little bash before I wire brush them, so a bit more of that, and then I'll get on with these bits. So there you go, there's those parts, just for a light wire, bit of wire wool. Better than new, isn't it? Yeah, as I say, with the passivate stuff, I reckon they'd go shiny just straight from the tub, but I don't know, I'm not an expert. Maybe an expert will tell me, but they look pretty good though. They'll look better than the old rusty stuff that was on there, you know. Yeah, I'll do the rest of the stuff now.